Well, let's keep the movement moving on here, as they say, and we want to turn to ongoing efforts to stop the genocide in Gaza and to help, get folks around the world more active in being a part of that push. The Global March to Gaza is what we're going to discuss in this context, and we are very happy to be joined here by Saif AbuKeshek, who's a member of the International Committee of the Global March to Gaza. Saif, thanks so much for being with us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Well, it's an honor to have you with us. And I guess I'll ask maybe just the most obvious question. What is the Global March to Gaza? Tell us what you all are planning and hoping to achieve.
Well, this might seem a little bit poetic, but I would say this is Gaza for us is the last stand of humanity. What we have been witnessing during the last 19 months of Gaza is shameful on all the political leaders who just, spend time talking about democracy, talking about rights, talking about future, and they see people are being massacred. Genocide is committed every second in Gaza, and they are not taking a stand. So people from all over the globe, more than 35 countries. So far, we have 1,500 people registered from all around. Just pick the place, individuals, organizations, unions. They decided all to come together, and we are gonna go and march from Al-Arish in Egypt until Rafah border, and we are gonna camp there aiming and hoping and demanding to stop genocide and to open the border. More than 14,000 babies are dying of hunger. They don't have milk, they don't have food. People are being starved, and people intentionally are being starved. They are using food and medicine and fuel and all basic elements of life as weapons against civilians. That's what it's about. There's people are standing where leaders fallen, and where they basically stopped caring and just turned their face to the other side while they see crimes are being committed. We are not going to allow that. We are going to go, we are going to march, and we are going to demand on them to stop their complicity because they are financing the genocide in Gaza.
So, can you talk a bit about where this idea came from, who started this, and ultimately, what is the purpose, in terms of gathering attention to get people to go? I mean, who do you plan to negotiate with? What are the demands? Like, who are they directed towards?
Well, people have been talking for a long time together. I remember we had conversations with different people last year. What would it be feasible? Is it doable to try to go to Egypt and to try to march in the desert of Sinai? What are the obstacles, the difficulties? Some doctors who just came back from Gaza a few months ago started also talking about this possibility in the global coalition against the occupation in Palestine, where we are trying to build global strategy for solidarity and for direct action and for people just to take a stand and participate actively. It happened that through those different interactions, we realized that there are many people who believe the same thing. So we started to just contact people all around, contact organizations, and ask them would this be something they are interested in. And before taking any of those steps, we talked to the people of Gaza because we believe solidarity should respond to calls that are coming from the people that you are trying to support. And we mentioned, well, we have this idea. Do you think it will be beneficial? Do you think this is something that you want to see? Do you want to see people coming from all around standing at Rafah demanding for the genocide to end? And they welcomed the idea, they supported it. So this is how it started. And we have sent the call, and then people just jump to participate. It's really inspiring to see like people wanting to go, taking consideration all the risks, knowing that Israel has no respect for anyone or for any law or for any convention, knowing that we have to walk the desert where their conditions are not comfortable and are not very accessible for people. And when we explain all the risks, when you explain the difficulties and the challenges, the only answer we get is there is nothing that we are going to face during this mission, during this movement, during this march, compared to anything that Palestinians have faced during the last 78 years, because it is 78 years of occupation, of genocide, of ethnic cleansing. So this is how it started. And honestly, now It's so big. People from all over the world are contacting us, wanting to support in any way. We see people saying, "I can't travel because of health reasons, but I would like to sponsor someone to go in my place," and others saying, "How can we support you? We create content for you. We post." So it is beautiful because it's not only about going to Gaza. It's not only about marching through the desert of Sinai. It is about seeing how everyone is picking up the news and wanting to contribute in any way possible. And our demand is toward international complicity. We are going there to say to our own leaders, I live in Spain. There are people coming from all the countries. It is known that Spain is one of the most progressive countries in terms of positions toward Palestine. However, we can still see weapons deals running all the time and ships doing transit. So we want this to end. We want our leaders to understand that we are willing to take things into totally different level and force them to take a clear stand for humanity, force them to take a clear stand against genocide. And the minimum they can do is to stop financing genocide. This is the basic thing.
No, I think that's very important, and I wonder what you say to people who are feeling maybe some sense of discouragement. I mean and about the importance of these kind of efforts and to continue to march and to continue to raise our voices, because I think that there are some who feel is it working? Does it make a difference? Should I just stay at home? I wonder how you address those folks as well in terms of the need to stay engaged.
I mean, I understand everyone's concern, and I understand that people feel tired and people feel disappointed of going out to the streets every week, demanding for political leaders to take a decision and demanding for genocide to stop. And then we hear declarations of leaders of intents and just watching the suicide to go on, the genocide to go on. I was talking with my family yesterday because, of course, being dedicating lots of time to this, it is taking time from home and from the kids. And then I don't want to sit in a room with my grandson or granddaughter watching memorial news of genocide in Gaza and them asking me, "What have you done? What have you done? How did you allow this to happen in your time when you had the strength, the power, and the energy to do stuff? Why did you sit around just watching?" That's why we are going, because we have no answer for this question. And we cannot bear the thought in our mind that we didn't take the maximum effort to stop it. So we are going to march, but it's not going to be the last step. We will continue doing all of efforts possible globally for genocide to stop, and for this government that has no respect. This is the issue. They just bombed few weeks ago the flotilla in Malta, the flotilla boat, and they didn't care. They just went to another country and shot at a boat that is going for humanitarian aid. We are doing this together with our colleagues from Tunisia, who they are sending more than 4,000 persons with trucks that is carrying humanitarian aid. We are also supporting the diplomatic convoy that is aiming to break the siege and stop the genocide. And we are being supported by the Independent Workers Committee in Gaza. So we are trying to put all of this together globally. And this is inspiring just to see the small things that people can do to support the movement. I believe everyone has a role, and the ones who are staying in their own countries doing different type of activities, they are not less important than the ones who are willing to go. Everything is just brings together the global effort we need to do to stop genocide.
And for those who are watching or maybe considering going and being a part of this, how can they? Like, somebody wants to join, what do they do?
So please go to the website, marchtogaza.net. We have made there a list of countries around the world where you can click on the name of your country. It will take you to a Telegram group where we are locally organizing in that group, providing all the information, the logistics explanation, the steps of an application that people needs to fill, requesting to join, and then we will get in touch with them, provide all the answers. Also, we do local Q&A because we understand it's not just marching outside your street. You are going to a different continent, a different country. So people needs information, and we are there to provide this information, answer their concerns. And we have so many people in those groups, many of them for one reason or another, they are not able to travel, but they want to be there and they want to support in a way. So even if people don't think that they can take time off so soon, still please join the movement, and there are stuff for you to do to support this global effort.
Okay, well, this is, we're going to continue to follow this and continue to watch this very important initiative. Saif AbuKeshek, who's a member of the International Committee of the Global March to Gaza, thank you so much for joining us here on the Freedom Side.
Thank you.